Hello everyone, welcome to Midway Gaming. I'm Nico inside the comms, of course, Justin providing audio commentary and of course, just background fodder.
Yes.
So, Doom. We've actually not covered Doom on this channel. I don't think ever, if not recently, at the very
I think
least.
we have covered Doom once or twice quite a while ago, but that was,
Hmm.
again, quite a while ago.
Well, there you go. My memory doesn't expand beyond like a month or two, so there you go. It's like a labyrinth in there. But anyways, so speaking of Doom Dark Ages. I was about to say Doom 2 for some reason. Doom: The Dark Ages is coming out very soon, actually. We actually got a new trailer last week, so that's interesting. And an official release date, May 15th, which is way closer than I thought it would be. And, like, I'm just shocked. I'm just shocked. I thought it would be more of like a June or July thing, but yeah, whatever. Then again, I mean, maybe they'll like everyone in the industry right now is just trying to stay away from the GTA 6. I was about to say 5.
Stay away
GTA
from
6.
GTA 6 release.
Yeah, which we still don't know when it will be. We're told that it'll be in like August or like in the Q4 like winter area. I think it's like August people are predicting. So, we'll see. But yeah, one of the most anticipated games of the year so far anyway. Um, what do you think, Just? Let's just go into your opinions first.
For Dark Ages?
Yeah, just Dark Ages and Doom in general, let's say.
Well, Doom in general,
The newer one.
the direction they've taken Doom in general is, like, fantastic. I, quite frankly, really enjoy how they've basically, like, some people don't like how Doom has gone, but for me, I've always liked the fast pace, like, run, gun, shoot, hack, slash. I've always enjoyed how that's how Doom kind of ran in a way. So seeing how they've like modified that to make it so that you can go and get a whole bunch of variety of buffs, passives, stuff like that, all sorts of fancy things here and there that like help you out. It's it's interesting. I for one very much enjoy what they've done with the Doom franchise.
Have you actually played the new ones though?
I have played Doom Eternal, yes.
There you go.
Yeah, no,
I think that's
I've played.
important clarity to get out of the way
I'm
first.
pretty sure this channel specifically has Doom Eternal, like gameplay on it. So
Just for clarity.
there's been Doom there. Don't worry.
Just for clarity, because I don't want anyone in the comment section sitting there going, these schmucks are giving opinions of Doom, but they haven't even played the
They've
games.
never even played. No, I've played Doom. I've played like classic Doom a fair amount. I've played Doom Eternal nonstop. 2016, I have very much enjoyed, but if I had to choose, I'd choose Eternal.
That's kind of interesting, though. And it does kind of show my experience with Doom. Let me just get this out of the way. I have not played the OG Dooms. I've seen them be played. I respect the OG Dooms. I have played the new ones though. This is the part where I'm going to commit a cardinal sin, so forgive me. The first Doom 20, when I first played Doom 2016, I played it on the Switch, and I did not play it to completion. Not because I didn't like the game, but because I just never got around to playing it. Because I play Switch intermittently, so. Not as much as something like the consoles where I will just sit down and for days, if hours on end, just grind a game out. I play Switch more as an intermittent thing. But I did enjoy the original Doom 2016. Like I said, didn't finish to completion. Played Doom Eternal on my Xbox. I have that on... Well, at that point, I don't think... Was the Xbox Series out at that point? I don't remember. Whatever. I have it, and I've played it on at least the Xbox Series. Whether it came out for the Xbox Series, I'm not sure. Because, fun fact about Xbox, they don't actually, once I got to the Series models anyway, stopped discriminating between, like, editions. Unlike PlayStation, which still marks their games as 4, 5, 3, etc. on the box. Once I got to, like, Series, and I think even Xbox, like, the Xbox, the original Xbox, well, not the original Xbox, but, like, the Xbox... this is the part my brain also struggles to wrap their head around naming conventions, which is also another thing they struggle at. Who decided to name it Xbox Series and Xbox Series X, and those are technically two different generations of consoles? Somehow. Regardless, they don't discriminate between the two in terms of box, so I don't remember which generation I bought it for. But anyways, I played it on the Xbox Series, one of them. Played that to completion. Haven't played the DLCs. Have them, but I've never got around to playing them yet. I enjoyed the Doom games. You can definitely see the evolution, not just like in the original to the newer ones, and I'm not talking about like the Doom 2 and Doom. I think there was a 3 at that point. It was like grim, like dark and shit like that. You can definitely see, I mean, just like in the new Dooms from like 2016 to Eternal, the kind of differences they took. With Doom 2016, they tried to have a bit more of the Doom 2, Doom 3 feel, I think, if I'm getting the numbers right, where they tried to have a bit more gritty, more realistic feel to it, less arcadey. Versus in Doom Eternal, they definitely kind of leaned a bit more to the arcade side. Not to the point where the game feels completely arcadey, but there's definitely a lot more arcade blood in there, I would say. Does it hurt the game? I don't think so. I mean, Doom has always had that kind of feel to it because of its classical origins, so I think they can get away with doing that, and it still feels like a very good game, so I don't fault them for doing that. As for Doom Dark Ages, which I am definitely planning on playing at some point, let me just get this out of the way. I always have a mixed opinion, and I was talking to Justin about this before the stream, as I often do. I actually have a bit of a mixed opinion on playing prequels in general, because we do know Doom Dark Ages is a prequel to Doom Eternal. It takes place before both 2016 and Eternal, way back during the time when the Doomslayer was part of the Night Sentinel Order. And we were actually having a conversation of where on the timeline that exactly falls, but that's neither here nor there. The point is that is during the time when he's part with the Night Sentinels, and the Makers are still keeping up the charade of, you know, being on the side of the Sentinels. If you know, you know.
You know.
So that's interesting. Like I said, I have a mixed bag when it comes to playing prequels, though, because as a guy who loves lore and is a bit of a nut when it comes to story, it's kind of weird playing a game that's like... Because you know where the story's going, right? When you're playing games that are in chronological order, you don't know where the story's going. That is why, like, for example, when I play the Mass Effect trilogy, obviously you play it 1 to 3. Or that is why I'm not against games that are so disconnected from the original story, like Andromeda, regardless of what you think of Mass Effect Andromeda as a whole, because it's so disconnected from the main Mass Effect game series. It doesn't matter if you play the original Mass Effects, you'll still, you know, the story is completely different outside of a few Easter eggs and references. But with something like Doom Dark Ages, which is very much a chronological prequel to both those games, you know where the story's going. You know the Doomslayer gets locked up in a coffin. You know the Makers betray him and the Night Sentinels in general. You kind of know the major story beats. So you kind of know where the story's going, which is why, like I said, I have a mixed opinion of playing prequels. But when you look at Doom the Dark Ages and what it seems to be doing with its story, yes, there are clear, obviously a bit more than references to the later Doom games, but it feels like there's also a lot more that they're doing here. This is another thing we were talking about before the stream. If you watch the new Doom 2 trailer and the new Cosmic Realm they're introducing, fun fact, we get to punch Cthulhu in the face. How fun! And it's introducing this idea of the Cosmic Realm, which seems to be this whole other dimension with, like, a bunch of Eldritch Lovecraftian beings in it, which may or may not have anything to do with Hell. It seems like it's a completely different area that's aligned with Hell for one reason or another. Again, I'm not too... It's been a while since I've reviewed the Doom lore, but I don't believe that this realm may or may not have anything to do with OG Hell. I mean, there are theories that the original Doom, like the OG Doom, actually is canonically tied to Doom 2016, and that he actually transmitted to a different dimension with completely different Hell.
Yeah.
Because apparently Hell can do that. Hell plays like the Warp.
Of different things.
Hell plays like the Warp. You can just wind up in different, you know, dimensions for some reason. But, so it does make me wonder if there's a whole different god set and a whole different pantheon and stuff like that. And this is kind of why I'm not against playing Doom Eternal, and I'm not as hesitant to play this prequel despite that, because yes, like I said, there's obvious references to the later games in Doom. Obviously, we're on the Maker's world, which there is one thing I can say nice about this, because we did see the Maker, or not the Maker, we did see Sentinel Prime on Doom Eternal, and we like saw the city and its ruins, and you know, Doom Guy's obviously been there before during its peak, so it'll be nice to kind of be there during the time when there's actually a civilization there, and you kind of look at some buildings and be like, oh, so that's how that got like that. But, you know, beyond that, like I said, there are whole different plot. There seems to be some upcoming demon lord general guy who wants to unite Hell, and I guess Hell works on a system where the guy who's most feared is in charge. So literally in the trailer it says, you know, unless you're gone, I can never be king because they're too afraid of you.
Yes. Which says a fair amount on how feared the Slayer is.
That is true. I mean, in 2016, the only way the demons were able to get rid of him was literally to drop a demonic monastery on him. So, there is that. But still, you know, it like I said, it feels very different, and it feels like they're setting up another big bad to future Doom games in and of itself. Like, we don't know anything about the Cosmic Realm. There's no references to it. It feels like it's a completely different faction with completely different, possibly gods and pantheons.
Yeah.
And we have the idea that the Slayer's always been broken out when shit goes to, shit goes to shit. So, it feels like now that in Doom Eternal, now that God is kind of AFKing again, I think, or Vega's kind of AFK again. Vega turns out to be God. Fun fact. Spoilers for Doom Eternal, by the way. Should have started with that. And now that the devil is very much dead, permanently dead, maybe the cosmic gods or whatever the heck dwells in that realm will see an opportunity to be like, cool, now let's, let's enact Lovecraftian nonsense on them. You know Lovecraft, things can go from bad to worse now that they're involved.
Very, very quickly.
So, it basically, like, to go on a Warhammer reference, the difference between the demons of hell and the Lovecraft demons is kind of the difference between Core Knight demons in Warhammer and Tzeentch demons in Warhammer. Demons will kill you and massacre you. Tzeentch demons will mess with your head and then kill you. So...
Yes. Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see, like I said, possibly set up for future villains in the Doom story overall. And that's interesting to see. A side note, we actually have seen that apparently Xbox is doing a collab with id, unsurprising considering I think they own id for Bethesda, which owns id, so... They're doing a limited edition, I think, Xbox version? Yeah, Xbox Series version. Or it's a wrap, so... Yeah. That looks to be like an actual console type that has like the Doom logo, or not the Doom logo, the Slayer logo on it. A Xbox Elite Series controller. Series 2, interesting, I did not know there were multiple generations. As well as an Xbox wireless controller, so... I thought it'd be interesting to get both a Series controller and a base controller with it. Well, obviously the base controller will come with the thing itself, and the Series will come possibly as an extra. Which, that'll be interesting to see. I wonder, honestly...
Yeah, you'll have people who like collectibles and stuff.
I mean, I do this... I can't judge anyone who does it. I actually have collected a few PlayStation exclusive, like, limited controllers. Like, I have the God of War one, and I have one other that... No, I have the Spider-Man one. I think I have the Venom one that they did for Spider-Man 2. So I can't judge anyone who does this, legitimately. And if you're gonna get the Series controller, which technically these things are meant to have like replaceable control, like not Joy-Cons, freaking hell, wrong game console, joysticks in them, or well, technically they're analog sticks if you really want to be technical. But anyways, meant to be replaceable sticks. Then I guess this would be the best one to get. It's not just your base controller; it's actually like a nice designed one, which you can keep for a long time. So
yeah,
that's nice.
A nice like fancy-ish type one type of thing.
That said, I think they also have rechargeable batteries, which do tend to die eventually. So, then again, I could be wrong there. It's been a while since I've looked at the series specs, or the Elite specs. So, that said, that kind of brings us to where we are in the Doom games. Like I said, I plan to play it. There's a bunch of games I'm having onto my I need to play list. I think when I get back to Canada, because I'm in Scotland at the moment, I'm gonna have like a running. I should do when I leave tomorrow. Have a running list of like games that I need to play that have come out or like are going to come out sometime soon, and then just like play them over the course of the next 2 months. Lock myself in, I don't know, in a room and just play. Be like a gremlin. I will not see the sunlight for years, but. So yeah, that kind of brings us to the end of the Doom stuff, so to speak. What do you think, Justin? What's your overall thoughts? You gonna play it?
I'm probably gonna try to play it at some point, yeah. Though, if I'm being honest, I'm probably gonna wait for a sale. So, that's gonna be a while.
Yeah, no. I was gonna say, it's like... Xbox does do sales, and not like Nintendo, who you're sooner to see literal hell freeze over legitimately than them give a sale. But it is also one of the most anticipated games on Xbox, so see you in 2028.
Yeah, I'll see you in a while, guys. I'll see you in a while.
Yeah, well, he'll get around to playing it by like 2030 probably.
Probably.
But yeah, no. So that brings us to the end of the Doom video. Let us know down in the comment section, what do you think? Do you think it's a good game? Do you think it'll be interesting? I've heard actually talk, though I can't verify it, that there's going to be a bit more of an open world-esque feel to it in some levels, which I've heard one or two people think that are like a bit hesitant about that. I don't think it's a bad idea per se, because with how big and grandiose Doom is, it's kind of like one of those games where it almost feels like Final Fantasy in that regard, right? Where it's very much a level-based structure, but because of how grand scale the levels are, they kind of feel semi-open world. I feel like that could work with Doom, right? You know, they kind of did that with Eternal, so it'll get maybe bigger now in the Dark Ages since it's on more modern tech, and they had id Engine 5 doing all of this, which it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So yeah, I won't be against it if they do that. Open world Doom doesn't necessarily sound like a bad idea, but we'll see. But yeah, let us know down in the comments. What do you think? What do you think? You gonna play the Doom? You don't like the Doom series? Do you not like what it is doing with the
Are you
franchise
gonna
overall?
play? Are you not gonna play? Are you interested?
Engage, please. It helps the algorithm.
Yes, do it.
Anyways, have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Bye bye.